Hello and welcome to the First Alert Weather Podcast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson here at KPTV on the west side of the Portland metro area. We won't give you the exact address. That's not important. What's more important is Camila is here. How are you doing, Camila?
I'm good. Ready for the podcast. We got some stuff to talk about.
I got my computer all loaded up here. It is Wednesday evening. It's easier now because we're trying to record these every Wednesday, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday evening, 4th of February. We are into February now. In no time, it'll be March and spring will be here. Speaking of spring.
Felt like it today.
Loading up my graphic here. There we go. Yeah, wow, spring fever. Sort of, right?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
So that's point number one we're going to cover here in this podcast. You can see the graphic, right?
Yes.
That's good.
There.
We like that. We like everything to work properly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to cover spring fever, sort of, that's out there today. Term of the week. It's actually two terms of the week. We're going to talk about the F. You know what I mean, the Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I was going to say, these are not bad words. This is Fahrenheit versus Celsius,
the C
everybody.
word. Oh, the Celsius, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do the F and the
gutter.
C. Okay.
Yes.
But this is a podcast. We can be a little more edgy. I think that's what the boss said today, something like that.
So edgy.
Actually, I don't think he said edgy.
Yeah, that's some fun history, though. We'll get into that a little bit.
We have a change ahead. Finally, colder and wetter. But is it too late to get a big freeze, or is it too late to get a snowfall?
Right. Is it cold enough and wet enough to get some decent cascade snowfall? Those are the questions.
Yes. I mean, we'd be happy just with that right now.
Yeah.
And that's there. Is it too late? Oh, I didn't even notice my own note right there. Too late. Yeah. And then we're going to talk. You said you love asparagus, huh?
I love asparagus clouds. They're probably up there in my top 3.
Asparagus. There we go. All right. Here are the numbers today at the beaches. I'm glad you didn't call in sick because I would have had to do all the shows and I wouldn't have been able to do this podcast, Camila. So we appreciate you showing up for work today, even with this kind of weather at the beach.
Anytime.
All those 70 Kearhart, Tillamook, Depot Bay. Did we talk about the Depot Bay misspelling?
No.
That we can talk about it on the podcast. Yeah, I posted this to Facebook, not only on my personal, fan page, Mark Nelson Weather, but also to the Fox 12 Weather Facebook page. And then like an hour later, I noticed a comment says, you misspelled depot. And I'm like, how hard could that be? And I'd put a T instead of the E, like a train depot.
Like Home Depot Bay. Jeez.
Amateur hour. Weird.
Yikes.
Okay, so I'm losing it. So, anyway, that's all fixed on the various web pages and whatnot.
Nice.
So, warm stuff, offshore easterly flow. We had an instance. Did I talk about this last week that I'd looked back to 2016, first week of February, something very similar happened?
Oh, really?
Was that you and I talking late last week? Yeah, it's in my weather blog. Luckily, I keep the last 20 years worth. In the first week of February 2016, I believe that's our warmest February on record. The same thing happened. And that's why I didn't go for 60s at PDX, because look at the high temperatures today. 58 in Portland, 65 in Hillsborough. We used a different observations because the Hillsborough airport something's wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
63 at Aurora, but then 54.
So you did change it. You just selected a different station.
Right. So make sure we change it tomorrow because it's fixed on that.
Smart.
And then Troutdale 54. So we're still in the inversion season, but it can kind of half break this time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
By that, I mean, we were able to bust out. If this was January, it would have been, like 50 at Troutdale and 56 at Hillsborough, for example.
Right.
But we can kind of half break through now because the sun angle's getting a little higher and the days are getting a little bit longer. If it was 2 weeks from now, I think PDX would have been like 67 today, 66. What's 2 weeks? So that'd be the 18th. Yeah. So we'd be well into the 60s at PDX. So we're just on the cusp of breaking out of inversion season if we get a warm air mass.
I meant to look. Did you ever check to see if that's a daily record for Hillsborough at 65?
I did not. Plus, that wasn't at the Hillsborough airport, so it'd be apples and oranges.
Right,
it wouldn't be fair.
You're right.
And here's an indication of the inversion. Low clouds and fog stuck in Hood River and the Dalles, 46 and 48 today.
Oof,
Yet Redmond and Bend, 70 and 72.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks from now, the Dalles would have been in the 60s.
Yeah.
So, and Madras, that's a tough call tomorrow because the low cloud layer is maybe expanding southward. Madras could be, I'm going to go the same temperatures for Hood River and the Dalles. Why change it? It looks the same. And so Madras, if it gets into if the cool air layer gets a little deeper tomorrow, Madras could be 40 or pops out of it at 70. So I thought 54 was a good guess.
There you go. Split the difference.
There we go.
That's a secret of the trade right there, folks.
Yeah, that is the observed high, but I just figured let's stay with that for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And notice in the valley, couldn't quite bust through. It's still a little bit too early. Salem hit 61, 56 at Eugene. So, but yet Olympia did 64.
Yeah.
I don't have today on here, but you can see the progression for the last 30 days. Each bar is a day in Portland. And you can see, that cold spell where we had the east wind last time, we stayed in the 40s, lows were in the 20s to around 30. And this time we're going to have our lows in the 30s to around 40 because it's just, it's a little warmer. All
yeah,
right.
after all those lows below freezing, I'm not going to lie, mid 40s feels balmy now in the morning.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And when I got out, go ahead.
See, average is, average is still supposed to be in the 30s, upper 30s this time.
It doesn't change much for the next 2 months. Yeah. I mean, even in March, the average is 38 or 39, I believe. Maybe we covered that last week. I forget. Yeah, snowpack is terrible, folks.
So bad.
It's getting really worse because the longer we go without snow, the longer, and normally the average would be going up. So that's Oregon, each of the main river basins. Everybody's under 40.
Yeah, everyone's at 40 or below.
40 or lower, yeah. So it's become worse, of course.
Lots around 25%. That's terrible.
Really bad. So, Camilla, you came up with this graphic. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, so this was cool. So Mark showed me this from a lot of lines. USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service has this neat line graph where you can see the snow water equivalent for the entire state of Oregon. And we've zoomed in so you can see basically the most important months here.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, January through May.
Right. Yep, exactly. And that green line is the median. Blue line is the max. And that black line is where we are this year.
And we should say the lowest.
The lowest,
We just went in the last few days to the lowest on record in Oregon.
Right. So it's historically the worst we've seen.
And we threw in, so the shading is the max and the min. Just the colors only. Forget the lines, just those colors. That's the lowest and highest. So you can see we've come out of the shading at the bottom. So that's why we're lowest, like you said.
Right.
And we want to point out 2015, which was a really bad year in 1981. And you see what progressed there. The state did not really pull out of, it got a little better in 81. At least it was a little closer to normal by mid-April.
Yeah.
But there was no big jump up and down.
Right. So you're thinking maybe it's going to be hard to pull out of this one.
Well, Camilla, when you took that lunch break, I did a little bit of extra work.
Oh, boy.
It's coming up. Hang on.
Okay.
Right after this graphic. This just shows, each of the individual snowtell sites. Blue is the lowest snow water rank. I think the Mount Hood test site, the blue, that's the one at the bottom of the Poochie Lift we often refer to. That one, I think the record goes back 46 years. To 1979. So that is now the lowest on record. It's actually tied, as you'll see in a moment. But all the blue ones, McKinsey down there near McKinsey Pass there. Why is Windows bugging me? I don't need AI to help me, Copilot.
AI's like, this guy
everywhere.
Needs some assistance.
It's everywhere. Leave me alone. Emigrant Springs, terrible in the Blue Mountains too. Look at all those places in Northeast
lots
Oregon.
Of blue there.
South Central Oregon, terrible. This is a west-wide issue.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I did. I forgot we had this graphic from early January. So I'm like, wait, because in the January 1st graphic, we said, what happened in January and February with the worst snowpacks? So I thought, okay, let's take the 6 lowest years. That's this year, starting on February 4th right now. All right. So that's a snow water equivalent. Notice we're more or less tied with 2005, which was a terrible ski year, in 1980 ski year, and then 1981. Yeah. We're all kind of tied. And then 2015 was almost as bad. 2003, I remember that one. That one was almost as bad. It's interesting. There's a jump after that. So these are clearly the worst 4 years.
Okay.
05 down to 03. You'll notice old timers, 76, 77 was actually worse, but they didn't have the records there at that location on Mount Hood. I think that would be number one. I think it'd be like 2.2 or something.
Oh, okay.
There's basically almost no snow at this point. So just keep in mind that 1 year, out all the way back to 1950, there was one other really bad year. It just doesn't show up in this data. But I do find it interesting that the next lowest then is, half again as much. So those years do stick out. So what happened by April 1st? % of normal. In 05, we still only had 33. Oh, by the way, we're at about 30% of normal at that site. In 05, it didn't really recover. It did turn a little snowy later in March, but we lost even more in early March. In 81, I don't remember how it progressed, but we were up to half of normal. That's the best we did. 2015 only got up to 28%. It just stayed bad. And then we had a really warm and dry spring. So those 3 years, it just didn't get much better at all. We stayed in those conditions. Yet in 2003, we got a little closer. I remember that was like the miracle snow. I was in Hawaii for 2 weeks. I remember that because Rod Hill, we were working together briefly. He's over at KGW now, but for 9 months we worked together when he was over here at KPTV. We were the co-chiefs, co-chief meteorologists. We talked about that? Yeah. It was odd. Nice guy, a lot of fun. But anyway, I remember he had to work 16 days in a row while I went to Hawaii.
That tracks. That's what happens in the news business. Yep.
But we had a huge recovery. I remember we came back and it was really snowy. Snow was like down at 1,000 feet. So there was quite a recovery, 83%. That was a pretty respectable recovery. And in 2018, it kind of recovered as well. But notice no year comes back to 100%. So the odds are tilted towards, we're probably going to end up lower than normal.
Yeah.
By this deep into the season. Check back again in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Goodness.
There we go. F and C.
F versus C.
There we go. Okay. Oh, wait. Let me say this. The reason I brought this up, kind of an odd term of the week. Had a very nice 5-year-old kid come in, and he said, "How did he know?" This 5-year-old said was reading this book, and he said, "And Anders Celsius and I forget that it was a Daniel Fahrenheit came up with whatever." And I'm like, wait a minute, I never learned that in college.
Yeah. How did this kid know that?
He had some weather book. He was a very smart kid.
Wow.
The 5-year-old knew more than me, like that game show on TV. So tell me all about it, Camila. I said, Camila, can you do this? I want to know everything.
Can you do some research? Yeah, Peyton put this together, but I definitely had to do some. I read up on these two guys. So this was kind of interesting because I didn't even know that Fahrenheit came before Celsius.
I didn't know that either, although maybe that would be assumed. Maybe. I don't know. Okay,
I don't know.
Let's see.
So Daniel Fahrenheit, German physicist, lived I thought I changed that to Dutch. Anyway, he lived most of his life in the Netherlands.
Close. Yeah. Kind of sounds the same.
To German parents, I think. And he developed the first widely used mercury and glass thermometer. His Fahrenheit scale, of course, named after him, was developed in 1717, which actually I was thinking like, okay, so like you didn't have really a way to measure heat before.
Crazy, huh?
Isn't that crazy?
It just felt warm and it felt cold. And I guess you knew when water froze.
Yeah. They had this thing called like I'm going to butcher the name now. It was like a thermo globe or something where they put water in like a beaker and then they had basically a bulb with air sticking in it. So then if the air expanded, water wouldn't go up as far. And if it shrunk because it was colder, then it would suck more.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's all they had. Some guy in the 1600s invented that. But anyway, tangent there. So Fahrenheit basically stated that or found that 32 degrees Fahrenheit was the freezing point of water. Basically, his scale, he wanted everything to be divisible, easily, divisible numbers. So nice, even numbers. Figured 96 degrees was the human body temperature. Figured that out by putting the thermometer under his armpit, which we know now is off by a little bit, 98.6. But he tried his best.
It's not quite hot enough there. Is that my wife would know? She's a nurse.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he got an incorrect number there, but yeah, maybe it just wasn't a good. I think under the tongue or in another place is more accurate.
Right.
And a nice clean 180 degree difference between freezing 32 to the boiling point of water 212.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so that's Fahrenheit.
Nice. Yeah.
So this was back in 1717. So this is when America colonies. I mean, we weren't even a full country yet.
Exactly. So then it was
back on the old continent.
Yeah. So then it was widely established by everybody, including European countries, of course. But then Anders Celsius came about and created the centigrade scale in 1742. So, a few decades later, made a little more sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But when he first developed his scale, he said boiling was 0 degrees Celsius and freezing was 100 degrees Celsius, which seems counterintuitive.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. but it was switched shortly after his death because people were like, wait a minute.
Oh, 1744, yeah. Oh, wait, they waited till he died to do it because he probably said, you are not going to change this unless I die.
You cannot. Yeah, we don't know that for sure.
That's pretty interesting. This is really good stuff.
Right? Yeah, so I didn't know that it was initially the other way around, so that's really interesting. And it was known as the centigrade scale for years, renamed Celsius in 1948. And during the 60s and 70s, most English-speaking countries switched to this scale. Makes sense. But here in America...
we got to do it different, huh?
Yeah. We don't like change, and we like what we're used to. So apparently the Metric Conversion Act of 1975 tried to switch us to the metric system, but people were like, no, thank you.
Which is funny because in all science, we use Celsius.
Exactly.
In the weather enterprise and weather forecasting, pretty much everything we use is in Celsius, except, when we just talk about our current temps, on TV.
Exactly.
And, I realize in normal conversation, if you're at a scientific, at the UW, for example, up in the map room, talking meteorology, we'll still use Fahrenheit.
Right.
I mean, that's where I went. Everybody still talks Fahrenheit, but for anything written or whatever, of course, you use Celsius. You don't use Fahrenheit.
Yeah. So then it's us and 2 other countries that do not use the
Myanmar,
system.
boy, we're right up there with Myanmar and Liberia.
Yeah, but they're working on switching, and we're like, we will not. Yeah.
So I just can't imagine that changing now. I can't imagine the political ramifications of trying to make it like the rest of the world.
Oh,
that means if they switch, we would be the only country left with Fahrenheit.
Which is so on brand for the United States, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got the formulas here for converting Fahrenheit to Celsius and Celsius to Fahrenheit. My parents had this memorized because they're from Argentina. So they're constantly, I feel like they're still thinking in Celsius, but then they have to kind of do the conversion in their head.
Right.
So, and the 2 scales meet at negative 40 degrees.
That's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Ever negative 40.
That I did remember.
Yeah. Then it doesn't matter which scale you're using.
I always just tend to remember 10.
Uh-huh.
I guess memorize it. 10 is 50. And minus 10 is 18. Right?
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what minus 20 is. So it must be, I don't know, down there. Oh, because we almost never hit it. So I don't need to know that one. But I just know that 10, 20 is 68, 30 is 86, 40 is 104. Yeah. But that's all I really need to know for my daily work.
Right. So you take the Fahrenheit temperature, subtract 32, multiply it by 5/9.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. That was Fahrenheit
fun.
for
I can't believe
Celsius.
we keep a list of all our terms of the week. We've never covered that before.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you,
And a
Peyton.
weather podcast. Yeah, Peyton, that was great.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for the big change ahead? Colder and wetter?
Ready for the big change ahead. Big.
Look at this.
How big?
This is a nice looking satellite image. So a bunch of things going on here. First, that perfect arc forming.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look closely, kind of like over, you can see the center of the high pressure, the upper level high that's over us, kind of like down in South Central Oregon. See, there's a rotation going on there in the thin cloud cover. So that's also twisting near the edges of the high clouds, like offshore and up to the north. And you could see it overhead today where the contrails form, but only where there's more moisture.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And the contrails are being dragged around in a circle as well. Mm-hmm. No, they're not deciding to spray in specific spots. No. Oh, gosh. So you see clearly there's this really shows the block of the high pressure, the sinking air, and it's just diverting everything around. And yet underneath the high pressure, look in the South Valley this morning, the fog that does dissipate. It wouldn't have done that in January, I don't think.
Yeah.
And then you also see the Columbia Basin stratusfield get a little bit smaller. I mean, it developed last night and this morning. Then it does surge a little. Oh, it doesn't really surge too much here, but it did surge a little bit south later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Which also makes me think that strong east wind is going to continue. I didn't mention it, but we had a gust of 73 at Corbett earlier. We really have a very tight inversion now with that cool air coming through the gorge. So for only 7 millibars to get a gust over 70 in the gorge, it's pretty impressive.
Go back to the satellite loop again, because I think it's really cool. I mean, it just goes to show you how much those contrails are moving with the rotation.
Yeah.
So they do get warped, and sometimes we do get some photo submissions, right, of people because they think it's like, it almost looks like a funnel cloud sometimes, but it's just, one of those contrails getting warped and shifted and moved by stronger winds in the upper atmosphere. Yeah,
you're looking like off that Northern California coast. You can see how more developed. I mean, this imagery, I think it's every 10 minutes, I believe. So you can even see like new lines coming in from the Pacific, like towards California. See them kind of forming.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's cool.
And that's one of our better satellite images. I mean, the only way you could beat it is some nice convection popping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wish.
So we got a big ridge. Yeah. Convection? No, convection this time of year. So this is right now, upper level high, about 586 or something, right, centered right over about where the satellite imagery showed. It's gradually kind of rotating a bit off to the east.
Mm-hmm.
Nice high heights. And then we get to Friday. Today's Wednesday, so 36 hours, Friday, early Friday morning, 36 hours. The high is weakened a bit. It's still there here, through here. But could you see it in this? Oops. Oh, see this trough way offshore? Yeah, way offshore. That trough kind of runs into the high, but it's splitting. Part of it's going up to the north. This thing splits apart a bit and part heads towards California. So that's Friday morning. Yep. Oh, what did he just bring you? Some dinner?
Our director, Jacob. Oh, this is a big sample. He made some African food. Look at that. He said, do you want to try some? And this is a whole bowl.
Wow, what a nice guy.
Thanks, Jacob. I'll try that later. I won't torture anyone with watching me eat. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
No, that's okay. So we got the splitting trough on Friday approaching, but it's splitting. That's slowing everything down. So that still gives us one more great day Friday. 2 more dry days, then we get the rain.
Then the wet.
Now we jump ahead to Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 3 days later, that trough is actually, I think that's the one that's over here in northern Mexico at the edge of the image down at the bottom.
Oh yeah, so that really is splitting.
Yeah, and then there's another trough approaching. This is on Monday, but look how it's kind of splitty as well. So it just doesn't have that full bodied thing like off the East Coast. You have a nice trough. So this is why we don't have a ton of snow in the mountains. We don't have, later Saturday is kind of wet, but Saturday night, Sunday is pretty wet. But then it's pretty light showers Monday and Tuesday. And in fact, here's Wednesday. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Thursday. So between Monday and Thursday, the trough has come on shore. There's a second one up here that must come on shore too. These are really weak troughs the early to middle part of next week.
Yep.
But then finally by next Thursday, things do look a little more consolidated here. And so I think the next time after Saturday and Sunday's organized weather system, next time we have an organized system, probably not till Thursday of next week.
Wow.
That's Thursday the 12th.
Yep.
In fact, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. So this one well off of California out here, this must be the one on Monday that then is over Southern California on Thursday or something. Oh, a system is dug down through here.
Yeah.
So it's not as if we're opening the door and we have powerful storms for next week.
Right.
We're opening the door. It's being cracked and some weak systems are coming through.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it.
Just opening little ways. That fat cat can just barely fit through.
Right. Nothing monstrous, though, is coming through.
Right. Yeah, so this is Thursday of next week. So then we got movement. So we're going to go from Thursday of next week. Of course, next weekend, Friday the 13th, the 14th, 15th, 16th, that is somewhat of a big weekend because it's Valentine's weekend and it's President's Day.
Ah, yes.
2 days later. Valentine's is a Saturday, President's is a Monday. So what I did, I took the 500 millibar. This is the anomaly from next Thursday. It'll start on Thursday, and then we'll go through the following Tuesday, I believe. So kind of a 4-day event. And what you'll see is trough comes down. It is still a little splitty-ish.
Yeah.
But we get a nice cold trough over us, and maybe there's another one approaching. This is way out beyond 10 days. So that's the plan. Look at it again. Yeah, so... Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody's absorbing that info. So we don't have a strong westerly flow developing for powerful storms, but we're going to get some areas of low pressure probably and some coolish wet systems. If you just look at the precip anomaly for the next, that's not true. This is through Friday the 19th or 20th.
Okay.
Why does it say? Oh, it like 19th or 20th, Thursday or Friday. So this is following. This takes in most of the next 2 weeks, actually. Total precip anomaly, 16 days or 15 days. And you can see it looks a little wetter than average, but not crazy wetter than average in the Northwest here. And same with the Euro has a little higher resolution. So wetter than average isn't like, a little wetter than average is not crazy wet. This isn't like flooding wet, but I think it's going to be more regularly wet.
Yeah.
California doesn't seem to do too much, though, with this pattern. They don't do real well. Yeah. So summary is temps are going back to normal. This is just the Euro ensemble average here. We're going to go from these upper 50s down to around 50 next week. And then maybe a little bigger drop, a little more of a drop, Valentine's President's weekend.
Right.
Yeah, that could be more like we could start seeing more highs in the mid to upper 40s at that point. And at that point, I'm thinking like I live at 1,000 feet. Somewhere in there, we could see a snowfall down to 1,000 to 2,000 feet.
Yeah.
But that would be way overdue. It would be mid-February's time.
Right.
There is no sign of an Arctic blast through at least the next 10 to 15 days.
Yeah.
We just don't see cold Arctic air coming south. Yeah, so more on that in a minute. So there's our 7-day forecast. Very clear message. I hate it when we have, Camila, we got a pattern change. It's just, we got a few showers this weekend. We're not sure how much they'll be. I like to be able to say dry Friday, wet Saturday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And it's not that sharp of a change either, because like you said, these are pretty mild systems. We're staying in the 50s probably. Meh.
Right. We're not
Yeah.
going suddenly stormy.
Right.
And if we just look at this is European ensemble 850 millibar temps. So if you want snow in the mountains, you want the temperature at 5,000 feet, 4,000 feet to come down below 0 Celsius. And notice, I think a big message here's this coming weekend and then the Valentine's weekend there. Actually, should go a little further. Notice almost the average and the operational run, the control run, I should say, they're both at or below pass elevation the entire time. No matter what precip falls after Sunday, it's probably snow at the passes.
Yep. So that's good.
So then it's a matter of how much precip do we have. And this actually, I'm not a big fan of the Euro snow. We'll see this if we actually get close to snow. It's producing snow often at like 38 degrees in Portland. So that's a real problem. I could have shown you this, and there's a whole bunch of chances for snow over Valentine's weekend with the Euro. Well, it's also the low is 36 and the high is 48. So
yeah. Well, and I feel like the Euro also just goes heavy on precip in general.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So then this one actually does work pretty well. It goes 4,500 feet up in the Cascades. Kind of ignore. They're just picking a grid point. They call it Mount Hood Meadows, but it's 4,500 feet. That's what the model thinks it is. And you do see a message here, because I'd like to get up and get some really good snowfall. Both the control and the average, it's less than a foot by next Friday.
Yeah.
So that kind of sticks out like, oh, we don't see a big snowfall. Even though it's turning colder, there's not a ton of moisture yet.
Right.
Until we get maybe to Valentine's weekend or maybe that Friday. And then you see that next weekend. There is a general rise. This would imply in the next 2 weeks. Wait, yeah, today's Wednesday. That's right. In the next 2 weeks, if you read the model literally, the average is about maybe 3 feet of snow. And that's good. That's probably average for this time of the year. So yes, I think 2 weeks from now, we're probably back to skiing. Will we have a 10 feet in 10 days? Right now, we don't see it.
Yeah.
I do see one of the control run here does have pretty significant snow, the second full week after this. So either way, things are looking much better for the ski areas. But today, Hoodoo just closed. I don't know if you saw that, Camilla.
I
Hoodoo
did
just
not.
Closed.
Oh, no.
They were closed Monday, Tuesday. They were going to evaluate today, and they evaluated and said, no, we can't. 50 degrees up there.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's too thin, too dangerous too. People can go right over. It'd be easy to just run right off the snow into rocks or dirt.
Yeah.
So I think we're not going to see any big reopening of terrain between now and a week from now through next Wednesday. But as we head into Valentine's weekend, I bet you things may suddenly start looking much better.
That's good. We need that. We need that hope.
That's what I'm thinking. And there you go. Maybe only 2 feet for President's Day weekend. This is where, Camilla, we got to, let's see, we record this podcast about 7 p.m. right after the 6 o'clock show. And I'm in the 6 o'clock show, and I get to about 6:50 p.m. and I see this too late for extreme cold. Oh, yeah, I was going to throw together a bunch of graphics for that. I have about 3.
Well, I thought you were going to say I didn't do it at all.
Yeah, so luckily there was one already in there. This one was already in there. So it's like, okay, let's start with that.
Yeah, okay.
So that is kind of a question. When we get this deep into the season, is it too late for us to get a big Arctic blast? I'm a gardener. Could we still hit 10 degrees or some single digits in the outlying areas? I think we know the answer to the second question there. Snow, is it too late for snow? You know the answer, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's not too late. Oh, I was going to say, it's very possible.
It's
still.
Possible, but not likely. Is that fair to say?
Is it? Probably. Yeah, actually, I guess you're right. The data coming up would support your conclusion right there. We've had snow in the 6 out of the last 10 Februaries. Pretty significant snow 4 out of the last 10.
Yeah.
Just go through it. 2018, that was the year that was terrible in the Cascades. We suddenly had a cold period. It was, I think, around the 20th or 22nd. Okay. 2019, I believe most of February was very cold. We were already getting into it at this time. Okay, so these two were early February, late February. 2021, that was a horrible ice and snowstorm.
And that
ice storm in the South Valley.
That was around Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because both of these were, I think I'm sorry, this one and this one, these were both around Valentine's Day last year.
Right.
But last year was just kind of a 1.5 day event. We were out of it by Valentine's evening.
Pretty quick. Yep.
Right. And then this one in 2023, that was that big snowstorm. It was really late, like the 22nd or 23rd.
Trying to remember. Would I have been?
I know I had 16 inches in my house in Corbett, so that was a huge snowfall in one evening. And then, you know what? That was the one. I think you'll see it coming up here. Next graphic. Here we go at the bottom here. The 23rd, the high temperature stayed below freezing on the 23rd of February at the Portland airport. I think what happened is we got the snow and then it stayed mostly frozen. It was slow to warm up. It was only 36 the next day. But then after that, we were warm. So, yeah. Okay, so my reason for snapshotting this is, I was almost out of time, but I think this tells a story.
Yeah.
Look to the left side. These are the Portland airport, the extreme maximum. So record highs are the far left. Record cold highs, the coldest of any one of these days, is right here in the center. So I've highlighted, notice the record cold days. So in 1989, during the freeze in early February, we only had a high temperature of 18, then we had a high of 15 the next day. So I highlighted all of those that are below freezing.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens after mid-month? The chance for keeping it below freezing in Portland pretty much disappears after mid-month.
Right.
Except for that day in 2023.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're thinking, okay, Portland is frozen, everything stops, it's really tough to do that after mid-month.
And is that mostly just because sun angle, longer days?
Yeah. Longer days. It's just getting a little warmer. Sun angle's getting higher. If I recall correctly, there is one day in early March. Let's see if we got any questions too. I can't access that from here. See if anybody has questions.
Not related to what we've talked about.
I think there's one day in early March in 60 or 62 where we had a high of 29. We had an east wind like snowstorm.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's the only day in March.
That'll do.
Okay, so that's my one point here. Chance for a frozen day in Portland, very rare after the 15th. And then on the right side here, these two numbers, these are the record low for any one date. That's in bold. Mm-hmm. And then this is the warmest low, which we don't care about right now.
Right.
And notice I highlighted anything at 15 or colder at PDX. Those disappear after. For sure after mid-month. There's that 16 back. That was after a snowstorm in 95. I remember that.
Yeah.
So basically, as a gardener, are we going to have some extreme cold in the mid-teens or single digits? Since we don't see anything through the 16th or 17th, this tells me most likely my garden isn't going to see a low temperature below 20 this year again. Yeah. So I bet that 22 most likely was it for Portland.
Wow.
So are those are fair statements, I think?
Yeah. So what would you do as a gardener? Because I don't know. What would you do differently if you did see some very cold temperatures on the horizon?
I'd just cry. I don't know. I wouldn't do anything. I'd just wait till March and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's nothing I personally have that's like, oh my gosh, I got to wrap that thing. Everything is on its own. It's a tough life out there.
That's fair.
Chance for extreme cold. By that I mean like single digits and low teens in Portland disappears after the first week of February. Yeah. Now snow. Here's the deal. We just had snow 4 years ago now in April, but that was like a once every 50-year event.
Yeah.
At least in the lowest elevations. So this graphic just takes what's a chance of having an inch of snow out at PDX or out at the Weather Service office. So this is at the lowest elevations. If you live at 1,000 feet, your chances are much higher.
Right.
So as of February 10th, which is coming up, in 6 days. So next week, we're down to only 19% of winters have had an inch of snow after that time. When we get to the 20th, so that's going to be the end of the week after Valentine's Day. So slightly over 2 weeks away. The chance of getting an inch of snow, we're down to 11% chance.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a separate graphic we have that has just any measurable snow.
Oh yeah, I was curious.
And those numbers are higher. As I said, I ran out of time.
No, this works.
So really, once we get past February 20th, except for 2023 when we had 10 inches in one day, the chance for getting an inch or more just really goes down.
From memory, do you know how much higher approximately are the percentages for any trace of snow?
Oh, trace?
Or any
we've had
measurable
traces.
Amount.
I don't know. Oh, measurable amount?
Yeah, measurable amount would be different.
I got a feeling like the 20th was something like 30%.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe it was 20%.
That's decent.
It's not that tough to get 0.2 inches. 0.2 inches from a sloppy, wet morning snowfall on March 6th, where the 850 millibar temp is -7 or -8, and a little batch of heavy showers moves through.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to be driving in the afternoon, and it's 45 degrees too.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we're probably, we can say it on the podcast, I think we're probably going to escape without a massive snow event.
Heard it here first, folks.
But could have a 5-inch wet snowfall on March 3rd. We don't know that.
Yep. First week of March.
And this is your favorite, not asparagus, because,
it does remind me of that.
An hour later.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Let's talk about asparagus, or is it asparagus? Peyton and I were discussing, she thought maybe it was asperitas. Do you think it's asparagus?
What would the Latin pronunciation asparagus?
So Kathleen Payne from Corbett, she sent this picture in, and neat picture. It kind of has that look almost like moguls underneath the clouds, almost like a reverse here.
Yes, it's really cool. Yeah, or like
you can do the pronunciation?
The underside of a blank. Well, it gave me both, which is not helpful. It says asparagus or asperitas. Asperitas. Wait, rhyming with margaritas.
Asperitas.
Asperitas?
Yeah, sure.
Huh.
Is it a Latin word?
Well, yeah. Latin for roughness.
Asperitas. Asperitas. I'm getting hungry.
Can I get a lime in my asperitas? But yeah, these are really cool. So you need convection in the atmosphere for these to happen, and you typically see them after stormy weather, right?
I was thinking I've seen them like with warm fronts because it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Chaotic resembling a rough season, I guess. Oh, it says right there, unstable atmospheres.
Well, but you need some sort of movement, right? You need some...
That's funny. I've seen them like kind of in warm front type situations.
Yeah. Well, I guess...
where we just have a stable atmosphere. Maybe they form more than one way.
Maybe.
We're going to check into that, folks. We'll get back to you next time we do this. Thank you, Kathleen.
Yeah, those are really cool.
And I like because it has Vista House and Beacon Rock way in the distance as well. That's some nice photo taking.
I was so focused on the clouds that I didn't even look at the lower third of the picture. That is really pretty.
She's taking it from that Sam Hill or the Women's Forum viewpoint.
Oh, makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Ooh, we got a full snow moon.
This is nice. Full snow moon over the Columbia River by Ron. You can see the reflection in the water. That's pretty. Super bright moon.
Yeah. Ooh, and look at the foggy morning in Hillsboro.
So moody. Very gray. Very Pacific Northwest winter.
This would be a great background. Sometimes we do need like a fog or winter Northwest without the leaves on the trees.
Yeah, we should save this one. Thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you, Sabrina. That's good stuff.
That is a nice one.
Oh, we got another one.
Ooh, sunrise from the airport. Thank you, Sean, for this one.
I'm guessing Sean works at the airport. Oh, no, he's on the...
I would assume so because
is he inside the airport?
He is inside. That looks like...
Is this a pilot taking off? Shouldn't he be not snapping a pic and should he be focusing on getting that plane up in the air?
It looks like he's on the ground when he took this.
Maybe like he might be one of those chemtrail spreaders. I see he's already done some work overhead.
Why would you even say that? God. But yeah, you get lots of cool clouds overhead. And Mount Hood. This is a great picture.
That wasn't even funny. Yeah, so there you go. Thank you, Sean. Is it inside? Oh, yeah, because the dike is...
You can see the fence, and I'm pretty sure that would be like, wouldn't that be Marine Drive off to the left? Yeah,
there's cars and trucks on Marine Drive. Yeah. He's inside. Thank you, Sean. That's good.
Yep.
Submit your photos. We prefer you submit them through the app. Those are some old photos. That one, the noctilucent clouds in the middle. I love that one.
That's
actually, I love the stars over Haystack Rock, too, and the double rainbow.
Yeah, they're all great.
That's nice.
Yeah. Should we go through some comments?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to hit the stop sharing button because I don't want to have to go back again. Let's see. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Do you have the ability? Do you have the administrative power to approve comments?
Because I can do it. Of course, I don't.
I thought you couldn't.
No, I have zero powers.
Okay, let's see what we got. I'm going to go back to the beginning. This is from Carl Bonner. He's big into phenology and warm stuff. Neocani viewpoint felt a little like. Oh, why don't I?
Just share it. There you go.
Neocani viewpoint felt a little like Croatia or Italy at sunset. Well, I've never been to Croatia. Maybe I'll get there sometime. A little warmer than the beaches below. Oh, he's saying it was warmer as you go up. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Susan says 71 today at our home in Redmond. Yeah, really warm.
Wow.
Joe says social media gives chemtrail crazy people way too much of a month.
Followed up with lost a few friends. Oops.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, then I guess they weren't real friends, were they? Because we can agree to disagree. Tanis. Here we go. Yes, we love
Tanis with the stats. Tanis with the
past
stats.
15 years, we've had four significant events somewhere in the Willamette Valley after February 20th. There we go. He's right. 2012, I remember that one. Let's hit it again.
It's so long it doesn't even fit in the...
2012, yes, and then 2018 PDX, except Beaverton. But the 2018, we had several events over like 4 or 5 days. That was fun. I like that one in 2018 because the morning crew, they had like ice and snow every morning and every day by midday. It was late in the month, so the roads were fine. Just drove to work.
Evening crew.
So build up all the drama, and then it didn't affect my drive to work, so that was nice.
Yeah.
2019, yeah, that was an icy one. And then
2023, except Southeast Metro.
Except Southeast Metro. Before that, I believe you have to go back to 1962 Salem for something. Yeah. Okay, and I think that is it.
Yeah.
That is all we need to share for right now.
Yeah.
It's been fun. You got a show to do.
Sure do, in 8 minutes.
And I'm going to go eat my dinner. I always say that. Nobody really cares.
I'm so excited to try this African food.
Yeah, I'm curious what it's... I bet it smells really good.
It's been smelling amazing. I can't wait to see some chickpeas. I'm going to take a bite after this. All right.
So thanks for joining us, Camila. Thank you for joining us. Thank all you folks for watching, listening. We'll be back next Wednesday. Maybe by next Wednesday, we'll see something more interesting. Maybe we'll actually get snow to 1,500 feet. That could actually happen this winter, huh?
Maybe.
All right. We will see you next week on the First Alert Weather Podcast. Bye, folks.
Please tell us